In Luke chapter 19, Jesus tells a parable about a man who went into a far country to receive his kingdom and to bless his servants when he returned. Welcome to your daily 180 Bible study. We've been talking about what it means to be a slave to God. In the parable of the talents here, Jesus talks about this nobleman and probably has Archelaus in mind, the son of Herod the Great, who received a great kingdom at the time that his father died. He had to go, however, to a faraway place in order to be confirmed in power. And when he came back, do you know who he trusted with the government? Who he trusted to run things? The people who had been faithful to him before he was in power. The men with whom God entrusts things are those who will be faithful to him. We are stewards of the things that God has given to us. We have been entrusted with the great gospel of Christ, with the mysteries of God, according to 1 Corinthians 4, verse number 1, and also in Ephesians chapter 3. We are stewards of things that belong not to us, but that belong to our Master. And if we are going to be faithful servants of God, we must be faithful stewards of the things that God has given to us. Back in the days long past, in England, for example, during the War of the Roses, there were estates that changed hands numerous times as power shifted between the houses of York and Lancaster, so that at one moment a man could be living in a castle, a vast estate, and the next moment he could be in exile, or worse. Now the household slaves of Archelaus must have rejoiced when their master became Lord of the land of Judea and inherited half of his father's vast estates. But how do you think things went with them when their Lord was banished just a few years later because of his tyranny of the people? You see, if you were a slave to a man, you might be exalted to a high position. You can be a slave to the flesh, and you might go far in this life, but it's not going to last. One who chooses to be a slave, however, in the household of God doesn't have to worry about the shifting winds of human politics. They don't have to worry about how the tides are changing, because in the house of God, we can always be secure. God is never going to lose his throne, and as slaves of God, we are always promised that gift of everlasting life with him.